I made the mistake for years of thinking that if I felt an emotion while I was writing, it somehow got stuck onto the song like a post-it note. Somehow, because I felt it and I was working on the song at the same time, those things went together. And it's not a mistake, but it's an assumption that we make that undercuts us. It pulls the rug out from under us. We need to understand that the emotion and the song are concurrent, but they might not necessarily be translating from the heart to the voice and the guitar.
How do you know? How do you find out when you have effectively communicated that emotion? Because you can't be objective as the writer.
I think for sure you find it out when you play it for people. And now the problem is when you play it for friends and relations, and you know, what happens is they know you. They know the circumstances. They know what happened. They probably know the situation you're writing about. They probably know the person you're writing about. And so they're filling in lots of stuff. It's when you take it out and you play it for an audience and you don't get the response, or you send it into Taxi, you know, and the screener is saying to you, you could make this more effective if you gave us a picture of what's happening so I could be there with you. Because when you're writing out of your own emotions, you're making a lot of assumptions about what happened that we don't know about. You may be writing to another person and it's addressed to you. I'm telling you how much you hurt me when you left. Well, you and I know all the things that happened that led up to that happened when we fought that night and you walked out the door and now I'm heartbroken and all those things that happened. We know all that. I don't have to put all that in. The listener knows nothing. So we need to back off from our assumptions, and Songcraft helps you do that. If you've written a song that says, I remember that night, be aware that as a professional songwriter, the listener doesn't remember that night. You have to know that you have to tell us that. That's the most basic thing that as a songwriter you need to know, which is I need to open the door and invite the listener in to that situation, tell them just enough in terms of the details and the feeling,
we're back to details
so that
again.
they are there with me. Remember that night, you know, when we let the candle burn out because we were so busy making heat over there. You know, you can describe the scene. There's a wonderful song, Your Body is a Wonderland, by John Mayer. Now, he knows what her body looks like. She knows what her body looks like. He doesn't have to say it, but he does.
I've seen that body 1,000 times when I've heard that song.
He's telling us. No, take a look at that song to see how he tells us what he already knows and she already knows. And he makes it sound like the most natural thing in the world to be telling us what they already know. Very important when you're talking to you to be aware there are a million ears all around you listening in.